Okay, so this is the end of the IT-175, I'm guessing. Have a guy coming to look at buying it. Going to sell it as is, as a project, pretty much. Got my whole pile of parts there. Whole pile of parts that's going with it. So I'm going to give the guy all the parts. This box is just packed. This one here underneath is just packed full of parts. So there's all kinds of stuff in there. Some expensive parts, brand new engine cases. Well, that one on that side's new. That one I'm pretty sure was a used one, but there's another new one somewhere in here. Box there, all brand new parts, a bunch of hard to find parts. There's some new stuff in this one here too. Anyway, yeah, kind of sucks. So, especially the fact that since I spent 200 and something bucks, tire tube getting it installed and back brakes, I only drove it for maybe 10 kilometers. So that tire is virtually brand new still. So I should really have swapped it over and put on an old one to sell it, but anyway, that crack sucks. So I cut the fuel line, drained it out, drained the carb, and you guys coming to pick it up. So sweet. And I got a guy coming to buy a gun. So getting rid of that too at the same time. Okay, so anyway, the IT-175 is gone. And I sold the gun I was selling too, but I'm not going to talk about that on my YouTube page. Anyway, IT-175 is done. I got a nice wad of 50s and 20s and some other things in my pocket now. And going to go look for engines for the racing tractor tomorrow. And of course I had to make one stop here. Had to kind of stockpile my bench hoard, you know what I mean. Have to have some of those in the fridge and some of these hidden in the chemicals here, you know what I mean. Anyway, I'm going tomorrow to look at Briggs & Stratton V-twin horizontal shaft, 18 horsepower, brand new in the box. Guy's asking 700, and I'm pretty sure I could get it for 600. So, yeah. And then I got to get tires, axles, clutch, steering, chains, belts, everything. So hopefully with the money I sold those two items for, I should be able to build this. Sweet. Oh crap, what did I do? Mr. Lazy there didn't want to wait because I was taking too much time in there, but I got some racing tractor parts. I'll have to show this all when I get home. Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys see here, but it's actually starting to look a little bit like spring. So stuff is starting to get uncovered. A couple feet of snow. Snow used to be piled over top that fence. And right across there, and that's almost all gone. Still got quite a bit in the corner there. Where I park, it's melting all pretty good there. And of course you can see the back lane's just flooded with water right now. But anyway, it's, in my opinion, spring, so I'm going to start working on the racing tractor. So I got the rear end all pulled out. I got myself some 2-inch by 1-inch tubing here to beef up the freaking frame. Got to make it nice and strong. I got myself a 1-inch axle with a keyed axle, so that was like 60 bucks or 50 bucks. These were 20 bucks a piece. Princess Auto prices, yeah, I know I paid a little bit more, but I didn't feel like running around the city like a chicken with my head cut off trying to find metal, so all at one place. Anyway, so here's the frame, and here's some other parts. So I got myself a bottle. I actually started with 2 bottles, but yeah, that didn't last very long. Well, if it helps for anything, he has been sitting like that now for about 15-20 minutes. I think either he can't handle my farts or he's just drunker as fuck. Buddy, we're meant to be working on the tractor. Buddy, I think I got you drunk. Yeah. Oh, you're still awake? You're not sleeping? You drunk? How drunk are you in a scale of 1 to 10? 36 tooth sprocket. I'm going for number 50 chain. Yes, number 50 chain. Don't want it to move. I got myself 7.5 inch, I think it is, disc brake, 1-inch shaft. So I got myself a couple hydraulic brake mechanisms, so I can put all that together. Some welding wire, key stock, 5 1-inch bearings, and a bunch of shaft collars and a few other things. So anyway, my idea is to take that frame, weld it along the inside here all the way from the back here. So I actually plan to notch these. I'm going to actually cut these out. I'm going to have it so the frame sticks out up to about here. I want to put a bumper on the back, so I wanted something good to mount it on. And it's going to run all the way down. I'm going to cut and notch this out, and it's going to go all the way down right to the front. And yeah, I'm going to beef the frickin' frame up. The other option is to knock out this rail and actually build it in the center. So I could put it right down the whole center. Now you can see that it does kind of move here, so it wouldn't quite line up the best, but it's just for added support. It's going to be welded to this frame, and basically my front end right there, I'm going to cut, modify it. I'm probably going to change all the spindles. So basically I want to weld that to those beams right there and to the back end. So I want that to be the main frame, and then it's going to be welded everywhere to this. So basically it's just going to be an inner subframe. Now, yes, I know this frame here is actually built pretty good, and chances are if I didn't use those 2" by 1" by 4 foot tubing, it would still be good. They never had any 8 foot full length pieces, so I'm going to have to give myself a little bit of a cut down the center here and weld it together. But I'm going to need to extend it about 1.5 feet, so I'll still have 1 foot left, which I'll use to go across the back or across the center, maybe somewhere on the frame to reinforce it. I'm not going to be using these tires here. Sure, I got the 1" hubs right there for them. I just really, they seem to be too skinny. So now, as for the motor, of course, a lot of people would love to see me install that sucker right there, the 70 horsepower Wonder. Not quite 70 horsepower, but could be 70 horsepower. So yeah, that would just be a little bit no fair, and it'd cost a small, like, I need to put almost probably close to $700 into that motor to get it running good. I'm kind of looking at an idea of either going for something smaller as a temporary motor, or maybe I found myself a V-twin diesel. You know, I'm kind of looking at that. I think it's a 22 horsepower. Guy wants $800 for it. I found for $700, I found an 18 horsepower Briggs & Stratton for $700, which is a pretty decent deal. Not too sure yet, but the 12.5 that was in this tractor, I'm just started adding up the parts for what it needs to rebuild it. I need rings, gaskets, seals, magneto. Just basically, I'm going to end up having to put $300 into that motor to rebuild it. So I'm kind of thinking that I might want to go for something a little bit better. Now, I was looking at the Honda GX, I can't even remember which model, but it's the 13 horsepower Honda clones. I can get those for about $300. So I'm thinking a 13 horsepower single cylinder GX, what's it, 340, 360? I don't even know what the number is. But I'm thinking if I slap one of those motors in it, at least there's a lot of performance parts available. Sure, it's only going to be a single cylinder. Oop. Neighbor clicking surveillance. Sure, it's only going to be a single cylinder, but I'm thinking it might be something that I could toss in just temporary, get it going. Anyway, I'm just going to put this video up the way it is. Today's the last day for the auction on this motor, so if anyone's interested, bid away. So as far as I know, it's about $130 right now. I thought I'd kind of toss up an update, and of course that's the hood from the racing tractor for anyone that never seen it before. So anyway, for today, I'm just going to bring it to the car wash. I'm going to wash the frame up, and that's pretty much it. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when I'm actually going to start working on it. Sweet. Okay, so I'm just checking out my engine hoard pile. These are some of my other engines that I just got hanging around in the shop. Other shop, I mean. So, got a bunch of random things. Here's another Clinton engine right there, but that one there seized and kind of not the best shape. That one has A500, so it's an A490. Anyway, the reason why I'm in here is these are the tires that's going on the racing tractor. Check those knobbies out right there. Brand spanking new. Look at those knobs, buddy, hey? I got a set of 1" hubs for it. Well, I think they're 1". I have to double check that. So I got some pretty bald front ones there. So yeah, right there is one on the racing tractor. What do you guys think? Now, I did have the idea of throwing on that motor right there, if you guys can see it there. That is a 16 horsepower Briggs & Stratton single cylinder with a starter generator combo from 1977. Yeah, it's a little bit old, a little bit crusty, but yeah, it should be a good engine, so it's just another idea I kind of had. So, but I think I can find something a little bit more modern, so if I wanted to go old school, I'd probably put on that freaking Model 23 there. So sweet.